Thank you for meeting with me today, Erica. So, in our senior seminar hospitality course, we were assigned to interview a hospitality leader in the industry with over 5 years of leadership experience, who is a seasoned professional with, dealing with a leadership role in general.
Okay.
So, first, I want to get into an introduction about you, what your position is, and how long you've been in it. What kind of role do you take on as in your leadership role?
So I'm the director of marketing for the Fairwind Hotel. I say the Fairwind Hotel, but we are actually an umbrella company under Royal Stays. And underneath that umbrella, we have three hotel properties, around 400 properties that we manage for short-term rentals for, Airbnb and other platforms such as that. And then we have about 2 F&B spaces. So I'm the director of marketing. I take care of all of our promotions, our email campaigns, different things from, all the way from graphic design to video to, website design and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
How long have you been?
I forgot to tell you. I have been in this current position for a very, very short time. I've been here for about 2 months. Before then, I was the digital marketing manager for a billion-dollar tech firm that specialized in supply chain management, reverse logistics. I was there for maybe 3 years, and before that, I was at the Ritz-Carlton.
Okay. So can you tell me a little about your background, education, your history, and all of that?
So I'm actually an FIU alum. I got my degree, my bachelor's in philosophy with a concentration in law and ethics. I thought I was going to be an attorney and realized it was super boring. Sorry if you're an attorney. I always did freelance. When 2013, when I started college, I was doing freelance marketing, social media management, graphic design, flyers, things like that. And then, I don't know, it just kind of stuck. When I got out of college, I got a job in it, and, somebody saw my portfolio, and it kind of just stemmed from there.
Okay. I know working in like a hospitality position in general can be very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have dealt with this in this industry for over 5 years.
Of course.
So, what kind of leadership style do you think you have taken on, I would say within the last 5 years?
I would say one that is extremely collaborative. Collaborative and carefree, I think, is kind of my motto. I think you get the most out of your team, you get the most out of your coworkers if you really hone in on their abilities, their strengths, their weaknesses. And instead of saying, this is a weakness, it's like, how do I put those pieces of the puzzle together? An example is I have one team member who's amazing at graphic design, but extremely weak in PR. And so, we ended up bringing in somebody who could do PR instead of saying, oh, well, you're not good at this one thing. You kind of put those pieces together, and it's really, really working. And so I'm the kind of leader who really likes to hone in on your talents and really, really make you shine in the ways that you can shine, while also just giving you a very relaxed environment, an environment that you look at the clock and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe the day is over. Not like, oh, when is this day gonna be over? I think that's my leadership style.
Yeah. Okay. Can you give me an example of the best and the worst leadership experience that you've had, within that?
I would say the worst leadership experience, and I would say anybody would say this, is, when you have to let somebody go or things like that, or when you kind of have to look at something or look at, a person and kind of, decide it's not working. For me, because I am such a big person on making people my family and making my team feel like that core group, that's we're friends and we're family and we're kind of bonding in that way. When we have a teammate that doesn't perform well for the business, as a leader, it's extremely hard because I might love you as a person and I might love your personality, but at the end of the day, we have a job to get done, and my deliverables and those things have to get done. And so I think that's for any leader with a heart. That's probably the hardest thing. The best, of course, is when your team wins together. That's, when you get that win, when you've been, working really, really hard to secure, that publication, or when that campaign that you guys pitched 6 months ago finally sees fruition. I think that's the best feeling in the world, because you see the pride that your team kind of takes in that, and it's transformative for you as well.
Okay. Okay. What would you say is the organizational culture in your company?
Carefree, very relaxed, very, come as you are. We're definitely not by any means corporate. We're definitely not stuffy. We like to have fun. We all have opinions. We're all very collaborative. We'll throw stuff out, and we'll actually kind of, it's not one of those environments, I guess, where, everything is set in stone, everything is set in place, and you just kind of, mundane. You do every day is something new. We pitched a hot dog stand last week, and now we're opening up a hot dog stand at the hotel. So it's just always something new, something fresh. Everybody's looking for fresh ideas. So it's that kind of a culture.
Okay. What would you say is the people development in the company?
I think our personal development with our team definitely starts with our leaders. And so we're all, my boss empowers me to do, what I feel is best, to, exercise my professionalism and my knowledge. And I do the same thing for my team. I'm not going to micromanage you. I want you to flourish as a person. I want to see your ideas really blossom and really bloom. And so one of the things that I think we do for personal development is to give you that platform, to give you that safe space to really get creative with what you're doing. And that's not even just in marketing, because we're creatives. But I've seen it in our ops department. I've seen it in our front desk. We've had people in our front desk say, hey, I was just thinking, and I thought this would be something super cool. And then you can actually see that happen. And there's nothing, I think, more amazing than to have your ideas really shown, to actually see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And what is next for the future of the Fairwind and Royal Stays?
For the Fairwind and for our F&B, I would say, for lack of better words, to make it just the hottest spot in Miami. We have this amazing, gorgeous garden area that's perfect for a nightlife space. We have a speakeasy. We have all these really, really cool attributes to our property, and so it's just really promoting it so that we're that next hot brunch spot. We're that next club that everybody's talking about. For our Royal Stays, and that's just growing that. Right now we're really, really, really centralized in Miami, and we have a couple of properties in New York, but the idea is to one day have a Royal Stays International, to have a Royal Stays in California, to have our properties listed kind of everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. So what social media channels would you think are the best to increase brand awareness for the property?
Short answer would be Instagram. When you're working in an F&B space, when you're working in a space of clubs and nightlife and things like that, Instagram's definitely your best friend, just because when you are promoting events and such, it's kind of just a very quick way to say, hey, we're here, this is what's going on. And once you kind of tap into people's engagement, tap into people's followings, you can kind of take a message that would maybe only reach 20 people or your 2,000 followers, and can very quickly reach, 80,000. That's the short answer. I think for bigger things such as Royal Stays, such as Fairwind as a hotel, as a place where we want you to come and bring groups and things like that, Instagram doesn't work as well. At that point, it's Facebook. And I know people think Facebook is antiquated, I get it, but there's a lot of power in Facebook, especially with the age groups and different demographics. A lot of people do a lot of commerce on Facebook.
Okay. Can you tell us one of the biggest challenges you face as a hospitality leader right now in your current position, I would say?
I would say keeping on trend. I think that may be more to marketing, but I think it's marketing in any sector, and especially with hospitality. It's just always, things are so it's ever changing. What's new is what's fresh, what people want to see, and so it's just constantly knowing what's on trend and making sure that your property is on trend. And so from a very minimal standpoint, that could be, you know, how we're promoting our F&B space, the kind of events that we're throwing on a magnitude, you know, or on a max level, that's from updating our literal rooms and having the kind of accommodations that people are now seeking. That's kind of one of the issues we're having now. We remodeled our hotel, and our grounds they're beautiful, but our actual rooms and our accommodations aren't really up with the times. And so we're kind of having a lot of feedback that says, you know, loved the property, loved the hotel, but why do you guys have red and black carpet? And it's like things like that you kind of don't think too much about, but it's kind of hard, right? Because now it's like, oh crap, I gotta go take the red and black carpet out of the entire property. So
yeah. Okay, can you tell us about like a campaign that you worked on that you know, you like any experiences that you experienced, or I'm sorry, any challenges you experienced while taking on that campaign?
Of course. Influencers, everybody's favorite word. So we ran an influencer campaign. We offer you a free night stay in exchange for certain deliverables. On a very short scale, it works very well. It's very quick. You can get quick followers. You can it's just quick, you know, insight. It's quick, you know, for people to kind of see that. On the harder part of it is actually making sure that you're getting the content and the copy that you want. So we're having some challenges. We're working through it. And you know, of course, the other side of the coin is looking at the metrics, looking at your analytics, and actually being able to see, you know, does that really make sense? And that's really hard with social media, because social media is not an exact science. You can say that this post was seen by 100,000 people, but not really. And so kind of working with social media can be a little bit tricky. Our influencer campaign has been a pain in my butt, but you know, we're working through it.
Okay. I think that wraps up the questions that I had for today. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
And you know, I learned a lot from, you know, the position itself, and you know, just keep up the good work.
You keep up the good work and graduate.